Hey guys, Wyatt here and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be using a free tool called IFTTT.com in order to put our content syndication on autopilot and also on steroids, right? This is a pretty powerful tool and it's completely free. So it's IFTTT.com and it stands for if this, then that, which is just a basic logic statement. If something happens, then do that. And it's really, really simple. So I'll give you an example of just one that they supply for you. If the weather is going to be rainy tomorrow, then send me an email. So you can use it for all different types of cool internet things, but what we're going to be using it for is just SEO purposes, right? And specifically content syndication. Now, what's really cool is that we can take this a whole nother tier further, or 2 tiers further. And what I mean by that is, basically we put out content on our WordPress site and we can have that syndicated to different social networking accounts. So let's say we put a post out on our WordPress site and then it posts to our Twitter account. Well, then we can create a whole new IFTTT statement where if something is posted on our Twitter account, then share that same tweet on this blogger account. So now we have this whole link wheel, not just one tier of syndication, but this link wheel where our blogger links to our tweet and our tweet links to our WordPress post. So you can see how that would be powerful. But we're not going to get too in-depth here with all of that stuff. Basically, I just want to show you how to use IFTTT and how you can basically set it up for your main money site. So if you don't have an account, click on Join IFTTT. If you do have an account, then go ahead and sign in like I will do here. And they're just going to supply you with some basic standard recipes that a lot of people are using. So you can get an idea of what IFTTT is capable of. So, if a photo is uploaded to Facebook, then save it in my Dropbox account. Or if I'm tagged in a photo on Instagram, then save it to my photos. So really, really a cool website. Now, once we are logged in, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to create so I can create my own recipe. So let's first set the if part of the statement. So if this happens. Now here's where we choose our trigger. And a trigger is just basically, the if part of the statement. So our trigger is going to be a WordPress post, or if anything on our blog is updated. In order to do that, we're really going to be using an RSS feed. So as you can see, feed here. So I'm going to select that. Now, if you don't know, basically, WordPress automatically generates RSS feeds for you. So I have my demonstration site here, demonstrationdomain.com. If I go to that URL /feed, you'll see that there's an RSS feed here. Now, this exists for every single WordPress site. So all you do is add /feed to the end. Now, if I didn't want to syndicate everything on the site, but I just wanted to syndicate what was on the blog, I could, again, go to the blog page first. So I'll do that. So as you can see, this is the blog page that I created. Then you go /feed, and we'll see an RSS feed just for the blog portion of our website. So we'll be using both of those URLs here on IFTTT. So I'm going to click on New Feed Item, because every time the feed updates on our site, we want it to be triggered. So now we just put in the feed URL. So again, that will be our website URL, which is, in this case, demonstrationdomain.com/feed. And we'll create that trigger. So now we have to put out that part of the statement. So basically, when anything happens, when a new feed item happens, then we have to set something else to happen, the action part of the statement. So here we can select a Twitter account, a Facebook page, a blogger account. There are many different channels that you can use on IFTTT. The more you use, the better. Now, in the last video, you set up your various social networking accounts. So basically, you would just want to select one of those here and create one of these statements for all of your social networking accounts. So anytime the RSS feed is updated on your site, or if you want to do the blog page of your site, then you want that content syndicated to these social networks. So you could do Tumblr, Twitter, but ideally we want to set up all of these. Now, I haven't activated a Twitter on this account, and I didn't set one up for this example, but it's really easy to do. You just log in, and then boom, you created that recipe. It's done. It'll allow you to check that, and you know what? I'm gonna actually log in just to the Drip Apps account so you guys can see how this works. So authorize that, and we'll click on done, and then we just click on continue to the next step. And so we have to choose an action here of what we want to happen when the RSS feed is updated. So there are a few different options that you can select. We either just want to use post a tweet or post a tweet with an image. So I'm just going to click on post a tweet, and they already have this set for us, but we can add in different elements, different ingredients, basically. All we really want here for a tweet would be an entry title and an entry URL. Basically, this is going to be the title of the post and the URL back to the post. And that's all we want to do. So we'll click on create action and then create recipe. And so now we have this recipe in place. So when a new feed item is posted on demonstrationdomain.com/feed, then post a tweet at Drip Apps Twitter, right? So I can also click that to check the recipe, this button right here, and make sure it's still working. You might want to do that once every 2 weeks or so just to make sure it's still working and nothing is broken. But that's how simple it is to create a recipe. Now, those ingredients that I showed you, sometimes they will vary. For example, if you are creating a WordPress post when, for your action, for example, if you want, when we post something on our site here, demonstration domain, we want to create another WordPress post on a whole different website. Now, we might use different ingredients, and we might want to put our URL because they're going to allow us to edit the body of the WordPress post. So we might want to put a naked URL at the bottom of that post. So that's just an example. You can customize this however you want, but just make sure you're linking back to your main site. Again, most of the time they're going to set that for you with that entry title and entry URL. So each time it's linked back to the right post. Now, again, we talked about doing some further tiers, link wheels, if you will. So basically, once we created that recipe for Twitter, now I'd want to do it for all my other social networking accounts, but to save time, we'll just skip that and say we created one for Facebook, Tumblr, Blogger, etc. So now I'm going to show you how you could do a tier 2. Same process. We'd create another recipe, and we'd say if this. So every time we get a new tweet on Drip Apps, then we'd want to post on, say, Blogger. So we'd have to activate that and log into the Blogger account that we want to use. I don't have one for this example, but again, it's the same process. So once you have these recipes set up, literally your content syndication will be put on autopilot. Now you can create some really, really cool recipes, and I could even create a third tier. So when something is posted on Blogger, then I could have it submitted to, I'm not sure, another one of these sites. Can't think of any. Tumblr, for example. And now when we have something posted on our WordPress site, not only is it tweeted by our business account, but then that tweet is put on a Blogger. And then when it's put on the Blogger, it's also put on Tumblr, right? So now you have this link wheel just because you posted one little post on your main site, your WordPress site. So that's how cool IFTTT is. It saves a lot of time and allows you to do some pretty powerful things. So make sure you set up that for your syndication. If you have a client, you'll already have these recipes in place. So all you have to do is plug in their social accounts and it'll already be set up. So it'll save you a lot of time, and you can use these for every single client that you have or every local site that you want to rank.